Tom, Managing Director of ITQ in Belgium and Luxembourg. Welcome to this ITQonversations session, where we are going to talk about the general session of VMworld 2021. I will not do that alone. I am joined here today by José Cavalheri, a cloud automation consultant of ITQ, and Thomas Bernard, pre-sales consultant of ITQ. So Thomas, the general session is all about multi-cloud, modern apps and security. Let's start with multi-cloud. Multi-cloud is actually a very logical next step in the evolution of VMware, if you think about it, right?
Yeah, as Raghu said, that's the next chapter of VMware. Everything started 20 years ago with the virtualization layer on top of the physical servers. Then 10 years ago, they have moved to the whole data center, adding virtualization of storage, network, and automation. And now they are moving to the cloud and virtualization layer on top of all clouds, on-prem, public, well, any cloud. And that's the cross-cloud services from VMware.
Yeah, a virtualization layer on a different level, you could say, right?
Yeah.
So, José, Raghu summarized VMware cross-cloud services in three terms. He said it's go faster, spend less, and be free. Can you tell us something about that?
Yes, Tom. Actually, the way we could break these three sentences would be giving more examples about it, right? For example, go faster. Imagine today with Corona crisis, you could have time to deliver hardware, for example, time to deliver projects, also installations would take more. But this doesn't mean about multi-cloud, just meaning a simple cloud, right? But also we could embrace more the power of it with the pay-as-you-go, but also liberating more clouds, APIs, and making the communication cross clouds easily for us. So that would be go faster, right? More cloud, more options, you go. The second part would be expenses and costs, right? For example, today, as the keynote explained several times, if you don't control and you don't manage your costs, can be a real problem, especially in a multi-cloud would be a multi-problem, right? So in that case, for example, Cloud Health could help us saving 25% of the bill, and that would be a big savings when you think about multi-cloud scenario. And the third is about be free. There is no free service, right? But it means that we could be the right cloud for the right app. And the freedom is what he means with that. You can have the freedom to select any cloud that you want, but only VMware can give that possibility to you. Not only 6 biggest public clouds, but also on-prem and also 4,000 plus local cloud providers, for example. So the freedom is yours.
Yeah. So José, does that, we talk about multi-cloud, does that mean that customers are now moving entirely away from their on-premises data centers?
No, Tom. Actually, the multi-cloud can also be on-premise, so the private cloud from the customer.
Yeah.
So in that, he would incorporate into the multi-cloud scenario.
So a combination of private cloud and VMC and AWS and Google, for example. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. So multi-cloud was the first very important chunk of the general session. Modern apps is the second one. And Thomas, I know you're very eager to start with a statement there.
Yeah. Application is the new way to go. Infrastructure is, okay, the old world now. With the multi-cloud strategy, you talk only about applications. And like explained the people from FedEx, the risks of standing still are higher than the risk of going forward. And that's how and where VMware wants to help the customers to embrace the new going forward and always shifting world that is in the cloud. And they need to provide new tools and new solutions to help customers to achieve that.
Yeah.
And my question is, as it's always evolving, how customers, José, could balance the critical elements that are part of the modern applications?
Yeah. So actually, that part was one of my preferred from keynote. Was about DevOps, development applications, modern apps, right? And if you think about the future between developers and operations team, making sure that they have a common goal to each other, right? Because usually was a developer wants to go faster, operations wants to go security, right? or maybe you want to go app in any cloud, but then you have losing control of your costs and control mode, right? And access anywhere is also very important today. So, but that cannot jeopardize the security from the data and data leak from the company. So when Hagu said about, it's not either or, it's the power of the end. So we combine autonomy with development, with security, with access anywhere, and all this is the power of end that's very strong in a keynote.
Yeah,
today.
no more trade-off. You can do both instead of choosing.
Correct. And together with that as well, Tom and Thomas, I would like to highlight one very important part. It's about what VMware is giving back to the community, right? So they have launched the VMware Community Edition now that you can use learn.tanzu.io to learn more about Kubernetes and Tanzu scenario. And also, in order to help the customers, they are giving free of charge on a VMware on AWS, the Tanzu Mission Control for Starter. So that's also an easy way that customers can use to start the service and start to utilize it without paying. So that's a very nice way to start the technology that you are looking for.
Yeah, it's really good to hear that VMware is investing in the community like that and let them taste the power of Tanzu themselves. Thank you, José. Shifting gears, there was a third important component in that keynote session that was all about security. And Sean Bass made a fantastic statement, I think, Thomas. Security is a team sport.
Yeah.
What did he mean with that?
Yeah, that's a team sport and it's a very rough sport because security, there is no place for mistakes.
Hey, no pain, no gain.
Yeah, and VMware have a great place in that sport because it is one of the only few partners or few providers that can control the 5 control points that are mandatory into a good security strategy. And the 5 control points are devices, users, workloads, clouds, and network. And they are present in each of those areas. So that's why VMware is a great player that can keep in your team sport against security.
Correct. And to enhance a bit about it, Thomas, for example, we don't need to have either or scenarios, right? So we still can engage security and also a very great user experience combining, right? So the power of the end there is extremely important. And that's why I would like to refer also to some other ITQ conversations we had about Martin and Tom, about Zero Trust Workspace, for example.
So Thomas, José, thank you very much. We could go on for hours and hours about this, I think, but you hear it. The key message of the general session, what concerns us is the power of and, no more trade-offs, but get the best of all worlds. If you want to watch the keynote session again, you can do that because it will remain available for a couple of weeks, and also the specific solution keynotes that dive deeper into the different topics. But also make sure to watch the IT Conversations sessions, where we are also giving more background information and dive a little deeper into some of the areas with the subject matter experts of ITQ and VMware. Also, if you are facing a multi-cloud modern apps or security project, or you want to build your digital workspace and you're not sure where to start, there's only one address: call ITQ. We would like to hear what you want to achieve and help you build an action plan to make it happen.